Equality is not an act, it is a habit. In all things of nature there is something of the marvelous. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor. Persuasion is achieved by the speaker's personal character when the speech is so spoken as to make us think him credible. We believe good men more fully and more readily than others. This is true generally, whatever the question is, and absolutely true where exact certainty is impossible and opinions are divided. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. Mothers are fonder than fathers of their children because they are more certain they are their own. Courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees the others. Suffering becomes beautiful when anyone bears great calamities with cheerfulness, not through insensibility, but through greatness of mind. Fear is pain arising from the anticipation of evil. To run away from trouble is a form of cowardice and, while it is true that the suicide braves death, he does it not for some noble object but to escape some ill. Wishing to be friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow ripening fruit. Anybody can become angry. That is easy. But to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time and for the right purpose, and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. It is best to rise from life as from a banquet, neither thirsty nor drunken. He who is unable to live in society, or who has no need because he is sufficient for himself, must be either a beast or a god. Jealousy is both reasonable and belongs to reasonable men, while envy is base and belongs to the base, for the one makes himself get good things by jealousy, while the other does not allow his neighbor to have them through envy. Character may almost be called the most effective means of persuasion. Moral excellence comes about as a result of habit. We become just by doing just acts, temperate by doing temperate acts, brave by doing brave acts. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Some kinds of animals burrow in the ground, others do not. Some animals are nocturnal, as the owl and the bat, others use the hours of daylight. There are tame animals and wild animals. Man and the mule are always tame, the leopard and the wolf are invariably wild, and others, as the elephant, are easily tamed. Inferiors revolt in order that they may be equal, and equals that they may be superior. Such is the state of mind which creates revolutions. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. At his best, man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst. Good habits formed at youth make all the difference. The ideal man bears the accidents of life with dignity and grace, making the best of circumstances. Republics decline into democracies and democracies degenerate into despotisms. The ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation rather than upon mere survival. We make war that we may live in peace. What it lies in our power to do, it lies in our power not to do. Democracy is when the indigent, and not the men of property, are the rulers. The moral virtues, then, are produced in us neither by nature nor against nature. Nature, indeed, prepares in us the ground for their reception, but their complete formation is the product of habit. He who can be, and therefore is, another's, and he who participates in reason enough to apprehend, but not to have, is a slave by nature. The whole is more than the sum of its parts. Those who educate children well are more to be honored than they who produce them, for these only gave them life, those the art of living well. Without friends no one would choose to live, though he had all other goods. The most perfect political community is one in which the middle class is in control, and outnumbers both of the other classes. To attain any assured knowledge about the soul is one of the most difficult things in the world. We are not angry with people we fear or respect. As long as we fear or respect them, you cannot be afraid of a person and also at the same time angry with him. Probable impossibilities are to be preferred to improbable possibilities. A great city is not to be confounded with a populous one. The eyes of some persons are large, others small, and others of a moderate size. The last mentioned are the best. And some eyes are projecting, some deep-set, and some moderate, and those which are deep-set have the most acute vision in all animals. The middle position is a sign of the best disposition. It is not once nor twice, but times without number that the same ideas make their appearance in the world. Men are swayed more by fear than by reverence. Some animals utter a loud cry. Some are silent, and others have a voice, which in some cases may be expressed by a word, in others, it cannot. There are also noisy animals and silent animals, musical and unmusical kinds, but they are mostly noisy about the breeding season. But if nothing but soul, or in soul mind, is qualified to count, it is impossible for there to be time unless there is soul, but only that of which time is an attribute, i.e., if change can exist without soul. The state comes into existence for the sake of life and continues to exist for the sake of good life. The soul never thinks without a picture.